Two Mates by Melanie Prewett, illustrated by Maggie Prewett. My name is Jack and I live in Broome, a small town in the Kimberley, in the far north of Western Australia. I have a good mate called Raph and we've lived in Broome since we were babies. Raph and I have been mates for a long time. In the Kimberley, we have a wet season and a dry season. During the wet, it's hot and sticky, and we get lots of rain and thunderstorms. That's when Raph and I go out and catch big green frogs on my nan's veranda, or go looking for tadpoles. In the dry season, it's nice and cool. Raph's dad knows some good fishing spots, and when we go out in his boat, we fish for salmon. I like catching the big ones. At home, Raph watches his dad cook the fish so he can have the first piece. Fresh salmon, rice and salad. Yum. Hunting is fun too because we go out bush with my Uncle Ned. He knows all about catching bush tucker and he makes us laugh with his silly stories. The best time to hunt for Barney is after a big rain. Barney is what we call goanna. Raph is the best Barney spotter, and if we're lucky enough to catch one, we make a fire and cook it up on the coals. On Saturday mornings, we go to the courthouse markets with Mum. There are all kinds of food stalls, but Raph and I like the chicken sautés and rice. Raph's learning to play the guitar, so we eat our food on the grass where we can watch the people playing music. If it's a big tide, we go swimming at Town Beach. As the tide goes out, Raph looks for hermit crabs scuttling across the sand, and I hunt for mud skippers in the pools of water. Sometimes we find brown sand crabs hiding under the rocks. When Raph comes over to my house with his dad, he brings his quad bike. We live close to the bush, so there are dirt hills and tracks everywhere. If Raph's driving, I keep an eye out for animal tracks or lizards on the rocks. Every now and then we stop to collect feathers and seeds to show Nan. One time, Raph and I dressed up in capes and we pretended we were superheroes flying through the air. The quad bike was our spaceship and we travelled around the galaxy, stopping off at planets along the way. When we go to Raph's house, we spend most of our time splashing around in the pool. Raph can swim like a fish and he can dive down to the bottom. I like to swim like a frog on top of the water. Raph and I go to the same school, and most years we end up in the same class. We get to share our books during silent reading, and if Raph goes to the school chess club, I go along too. Whatever Raph and I do, we always have fun. I'm glad we're mates. Jack and Raph's family. The end.